Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Bailey here, and I'll be running Smith's Mechanical. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is just going through what we've got in the shed here and what majority of this channel is going to be about. So the main car that I'm going to be uploading content on is my 1983 TG Gemini. I've currently got the whole car stripped out. I'm going to be doing some panel work over the next week. Stuff like in the spare tyre well, always rusts out, very common. This corner, not too bad. There'll be a lot of rust converter and maybe cutting out and plating some of that. We are putting a aftermarket engine in this car. We're going to be chasing a bit more power and a bit more fun. This footwell here, obviously quite rusted. That's going to need to be all ground down so we can see the extent of it and where it ends up going, and cutting out and plating that. In the engine bay, we're smoothing out a lot of the corners, so where it used to be lip to kind of thingy, we've just hit it down and bogged it. There's still a lot of work to be done on these. I've just done a quick kind of like dodgy little job just to see what it's going to look like. We'll be cutting this out, plating that. I need to convert all this back, grind this down, plate that, fill some of the holes. I'm going to leave this here for roadworthy reasons. We're going to be relocating the battery to the back. Our wiring harness is going to be using different holes and grommets and end up coming in here inside the guard and then down into the engine. I need to cut this out and plate this. So the engine bay is the stuff I'm going to be tackling over the next couple of days just to get that a bit closer. I'm not going to be revealing the engine yet that I've got for this car. All I'll say is it does have quite a nice spinny boy. And the chopped 80 series we've got in, we've got this quite cheap. It's kind of a clean-up job, needs a severe amount of work. It's like the chop was quite rushed. You can see they're not the best. The whole roof is just bog, stuff like that. Just everywhere the roof has been put on does not look too nice at all. It looks very rough, very rushed, and very cheap. So this car again has been completely stripped out interior. The inside's not too bad. Pretty much the whole chop needs to kind of be cut off and redone because it's not the best. The engine that'll be going back into this is just your 1.8Z. We've got two of them to choose from there to take parts. There's still quite a bit of work that needs to be done on this. All this wiring needs to be gutted out. Everything kind of needs to be taken out, but it's good because it's mod plated for its chop, the turbo, and different seats because this was a POV pack, just 1.8Z. This panel will be cut up and used for most of the work in there. It's just like 2 mil thick, just sheet metal. All of this stuff is from the old engine, old interior, so we're going to be keeping stock steering, stock brakes for now. We're going to be putting our engine in, going down and getting it mod plated, and then most of the work will be done after that, so she's legal in a way. The shell of this is very good, surprising for its age, I guess, but yeah, it's very happy with it. Obviously work needs to be done, but it's not too much. It's not that bad. After majority of this car is done, I'll be going to the other car that I've got that doesn't move anymore, just lives in one spot. It's a 1990 Suzuki Sierra, short wheelbase. Just kind of use it as a comp truck. This is it now. Sad life. Very rough. Welded up this straight onto the chassis. Sorry for the wind. Welded up that straight onto the chassis. Same with the sliders on there, just straight onto a chassis mount. Very dodgy just to stop it from rolling. This, very, very dodgy. Again, this car's not roadworthy, just gets trailered out and then abused and surprisingly doesn't break a lot. Still got its stock 1.3 litre in it, so I'm planning down the line to put a different engine into this. Maybe keep it 4-cylinder, maybe put something big, stupid, like a Barra LS, 4AGE, 4G63, and convert it to rear wheel drive with the transfer case. There's a lot that can happen. I just don't really know where I want to go with it. Today I'm just going to be playing with a bit of this aerosol rust converter. I just want to see how it works just in the small kind of grooves here, because it's like we're just starting to get a bit of surface rust, but nothing too bad there, so it's surprising. But I do want to get quite a bit of work done in the engine bay. I'm going to start with just this main hole here, just where all this surface rust is starting, and all up under here. I'm just going to kind of hit with a wire wheel, drop it all down, spray on the converter and see how it goes. I'll probably keep that in today's video. I'll be knocking that out as well, maybe time-lapsing a bit of what happens in the engine bay. See if I can get that to work. The hardest part's just got to be playing with this corner just to make it look nice and smooth. Might have to sit there with a die grinder and just round this out before we put some bog in or spray putty. Cut this down, plate that. Need to blend this like glued here, grind that down, blend that, and this edge, grind that down and blend that. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here, and then I'm going to get some work done and then pick up and just kind of point out what's been done. So it'll be a few seconds for you guys. So I've been playing with the with grinding it down, playing with the rust converter. It's not, well, I need to do some more work, so I've just tried to do a real dodgy, just wire wheel, take all it off, and as you can see it's still very rough there, so I'll need to go with a flap disc and take off a lot more of the rust. The can just said something about just putting it on with all loose spots, but it's more of a sealer than a converter. I guess it's not too bad. I've used it on stuff here, just where there's a little bit of surface rust starting to form. I've just wire wheeled all this, taken this all down, and it's just gone black when it activates with the rust. That's pretty much all I've got done there for now. I'm going to need to do a lot more work smoothing it out, as mentioned before. And I had more of a play around the back. This was just piled up with bog, stuff like that thick, just in here, so I wanted to see how bad it was under it, and surprisingly there was a little bit of surface rust starting to form, but it's quite nice. So I've gone over that with the rust converter as well, because it's more like there's a pinhole there, there's a hole there, comes across to there, they're little like patches that have just been bogged in, and this here, this is the good side. Hole there, holes there, but not that bad. So that's an alright side. Up the top, not that bad. The issue is when you get to here. So that's just been bogged all the way up. Trying to remove some of the bog to clean it out and to apply some of the converter. But yeah, it looks like a lot of this will need either a lot more bog work, or we'll be working with the welder and making it nice. Because yeah, it's a bit how you going. So this is what I was using. It's not too bad for stuff like, you know, if those holes weren't there and it was just that little bit of surface rust, it might be perfect, you know, nice and beautiful just to spray on. But just because of the age of the car and the extent of some of the rust, it's going to be needing a bit more work than that. The main issue at this point in time though is if we have a look down at the bottom of that chassis, yeah, there's hole. There is hole there, so that is not too good. But I might wrap up this video here. Over the next few days and week, I'm going to try and do a bit more body work. Get majority of it ready for welding, so I can just do one day of just welding. For all the holes, I'll just be using cardboard template, just cutting it out, making it nice, then going and cutting out my piece of sheet metal, making sure it fits. I want to prep all of it now, so sand down all the edges so it can just sit in quite nicely with magnets across. So it's just a matter of just kind of welding it around, just tack welding everywhere. I'm gonna have to come here with a flapper wheel and try and get up a bit more in the top and get all that off to make it nice and smooth. because that's pretty much right in the middle of what you look at. But yeah, so that's it for today, guys. Thank yous for watching. As always, I'll try my best. I'll try and be putting out a video every fortnight, just depending on how much content we get. Most of this channel for the time being will be on this Gemini, so it just really comes down to how much I can be bothered doing at the time and how much I want to record, set the camera up, time lapse it. I do want to be time lapsing a lot of it, as of the build's already at this stage and there's not really any documentation otherwise. Anything that's been put on my Instagram stories. The Instagram is just same as this, Smiths_mechanical. Same profile picture, should be easy to find, but yeah, I take quite a bit of pictures on there every time I'm working on it, trying to put some info up. Just progress really, so everything's tracked. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe.